I don't know. I'm not perfect, so sometimes I'm off my game. Welcome back to the Good Report. Let's see if it actually went through that time. Yep, that one did the trick. Thank you for coming back. If you were in the last one where I was kind of being like, is this thing on tonight? Because things weren't working the way they usually do. Every night I gather, I always say it around 8:30, but the timing has gotten to be a little later. So anyway, wherever you are, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. I'm gonna pick an angel card in a moment. That's gonna guide our time together. I figured that I can be in my feelings for 23 hours of the day regarding this coronavirus situation, but I'm going to devote at least one section of time. Sometimes it's been 15 minutes. Last night it was 10. I'm going to dedicate some level of this time. Hey, Jonathan. I'm going to dedicate some level of my day, my time, to being grateful. So that's the reason why I'm here. And what I've been doing every night for the last 62 nights, including tonight, is coming on, holding space for all that is good, sharing with the peeps that I've gathered around the watering hole for the night, and then going on my merry way. Today I took the day off today. I didn't do anything directory. I didn't do anything assistant-y. I didn't do anything. I ran some errands today. I needed to go and get some prescriptions, and then I had to stop by my favorite vape shop. I picked up, look at this. This is hemp flower. You want to talk about a chilled out time? This is like 21.2% lifter CBD. Very, very chill vibes in my future tonight and for a little bit. This shit lasts me. This was like 8 grams. And for those, I don't know the science really behind how CBD and THC differs. I just know the effects that they have on me. CBD is very, very calming. THC is not. I get different, crunches. Hey, Bryce, good to see you. I get different crunches from each one. Oh, you know what I get? I get different delights. The angel card that I picked tonight is delight. See, I don't want to just talk about me the whole time. I want to talk about y'all. What brings you delight? What's giving you joy these days? I'll read what the explanation of the card is according to the authors. But let me tell you something. This hemp is giving me all of the delight these days. Just the chill vibes, easy breezy, beautiful. Okay, so this card says an approach of childlike innocence and freshness. That's what the card delight means, according to these authors. An approach of childlike innocence and freshness bring pleasure and enchantment to each relationship, event, and task of everyday life. Delight is an approach of childlike innocence and freshness. Bring pleasure and enchantment to each relationship, event, and task of everyday life. Wow, delight. A childlike innocence and freshness. I've been really mesmerized through FaceTime by my nephew Kyle, my youngest brother's son, my nephew Kyle. He is about to turn 1. Oh, he turned 1 on Monday. Happy birthday, Kyle. And he's just taking everything in with this freshness. Like everything is new. My mother was telling me that he was mesmerized by sheets with flowers on them. He had never seen sheets with flowers on them. Imagine what it's like to be a baby. a bebe, as Maura Rose would say. Oh, we got comments down here. Jonathan's must be talking about me and my my medicinals, my herbal medicinals. You must be talking about that. Haha, and about that because I see the cross eyes. Yeah, sometimes I'm cross-eyed, cross-faded. All love though, never a problem. And then Bryce says, hey Bryce. Bryce is singing in the People's Cabaret this weekend. That'll be going live on all my channels. You won't be able to miss it. Those who love to see it, love to see it. Those who hate to see it, hate to see it. I don't know what to do anymore. I gotta bring the delight. Right? So, yeah, it is a delight to be with you all tonight. I'm just going to take a few more minutes. These have been getting a little shorter, and that's cool because I'm just going to organically flow. I think that over the next couple of days, I'm going to start canvassing and start bringing on some guests to kind of have some uplifting conversation, so it's just not me droning on and on. Give me a love or a like or something if you think that's a good idea. Jonathan says, I love Greenleaf on Netflix. Oh my God, have you watched? Okay, your white ass is not going to come on this turf asking me if I've watched Greenleaf on Netflix. We don't do that. Ashley can attest to this. Hey, Ashley, good to see you. I love you, boo. You're not going to come on here and ask me. You know what? Yes, I'm very much caught up on Greenleaf, all of it. You are behind. You know how autobiographical it is and how real it is. There were times when I was watching Greenleaf and I was like, snatched right from the pages of life. Yeah, but yeah, you're not going. That's like me. You know what? That's like me asking you. I don't know what would be the equivalent of that, but that'd be like me asking you if you if you'd heard of this really cool singer named Garth Brooks or something. You'd be like, are you telling me about Garth Brooks? That's what it would feel like. But it's fine. It's fine. It just is what it is. It's all love here. Love Greenleaf. Love the Musical Theater Connect. The lead, Grace. Is her name Grace? Grace. The main daughter, Grace, the light-skinned one. She is a Broadway actress. That I don't name drop a lot, so I don't name drop at all. So now I can't even remember her name. I'm definitely not close enough to the earth to remember her name. Lord, what is her name? Oh, I have the internet right here. Anyway, the woman, the wonderful actress that plays Grace, she is also a Broadway actress. She was in Tarzan, and then she most recently did the original Broadway cast of Once on This Island. If you want to hear her sing, because she doesn't do a lot of singing on the show, which I think diversifies her whole, portfolio. But if you Merle, I want to say Merle Dandridge. I want to say her name is Merle Dandridge. And she sang on that stage with mutual friends of mine. We're like 1 degree of separation from each other. But if you want to hear some singing, you're going to love it too, Jonathan, because Jonathan's a fabulous musician. When you hear Merle sing, yeah, Merle Dandridge, that's her name. Yeah. When you hear her, after this is over, I'm going to send you a couple tracks. Hey, Abby, good to see you tonight. I'll send you a couple recommended readings, but she does some stuff with her voice in Once on This Island that is mind-blowing. She's a phenomenal talent. I do like that show a lot. It's petty. It's a petty, churchy kind of show. Hey, Abby, I love you. Good to see you. Yeah, you know what you're watching tonight. Yeah. It's so good. If you... I can't say that out loud. I got something else for you too, though. I got something else for you. I'll text you. I'll text you later. So yeah, for not incriminating ourselves on the internet, 2,000 points. What's going on in your world? Where are you all watching from? I think Jonathan, it's safe to say, is down in Florida. Abby, where are you? Where's everyone else watching from? Ashley, I think it's an RVA. I could be lying. Bryce, I hope it's still in Brooklyn, alive and well. Where are you all in the world? I hope that you feel love tonight. I'm gonna move into the next little section where I just bring us into this 27 minutes past the top of the hour, and I just invite us to just breathe in. It could, you maybe, we breathe because that's how we live. But maybe you haven't really taken a focused breath today. And I apologize, I'm a little dry in my voice because I've been hydrating for days with Pinot Grigio. I think that's what that says down there. So I'm sorry for my rasp. But, anyway, all of that aside, we pull ourselves now into the present moment. Yep. Right here. And I don't know where you are. You could be standing in your kitchen. You could be laying in your bed. You could have AirPods in your ears or some other, headphone in your ear. Or maybe you're listening in a room out loud. And wherever you are, just kind of settle into that space. We're only going to be here for just a brief moment. I'm not trying to be a time suck. Like I always say, this isn't about my ego. This is about community and shared love. And what happens when 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 gather in the name of love? What happens in that space? I am of the bring your own belief. Remember, this space here, the Good Report, is a bring your own belief space. So I'm of the opinion that whatever loving presence you're bringing into this space, that's the presence we're going to have. Same thing for church, though. Whatever God you're finding in the church house is the God you're bringing with you. And I'll say that one more time. Whatever God you're finding in those four walls that you call church, just say you like the lights. Just say you like the sound system. Say you like the singing. Say Jonathan plays his ass off. Say that. Say you like being in community. But don't pretend ever for a second that God is in that building. Whatever God shows up in that building is the God you brought with you. Whatever God shows up in this house is the God I bring into this house. Welcome into this place. Welcome into this holy temple. Welcome in. Welcome in. Some of you are going to be like, oh, there he goes. 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 Heresy. You know who some of my heroes are? And I got to meet one of my heroes 2 years ago because his daughter and I were singing in a show together. Bishop Carlton Pearson started talking about this gospel of inclusivity and this gospel of inclusion, I think is what they called it. For those of you who don't know, Bishop Carlton Pearson led one of these huge revival movements back in the 90s called the Azusa Street movements. And for you churchy kids that listen and that hang out, you'll know what I'm talking about. But these huge revivals, and they were all of these recorded CDs and stuff, and a lot of worship albums and things came out of that Azusa Street Pentecostal movement. But then he had a revelation. He just woke up and he believed that God clearly said to him that God, being a God of love, was not going to make anyone go to hell. That a God of love would not even create a hell in the first place. Why would a God of love create a place to punish? That sounds like something that people do. Sounds a lot like not us being made in the image of God, but God being made in the image of us. So, anyway, as we've watered down God over the years, we kind of, get a little lost in the sauce. But any God that you are worshiping, just kind of know that it's within you as well. It's indwelling. The Spirit is indwelling, and you're not You're not separated from that. A lot of people are really anxious about getting back to church. And I sometimes get on these tangents because I see churchy friends and it's not fair. They probably come and go and they don't care. But like, I just want to be very, very clear that like a lot of people are trying to get back to these spaces. Just know that these spaces will be there as soon as everything is safe. And also as it pertains to spiritual things and spiritual matters, God is within you. Boo boo. As close as you're breathing. Oh yeah, perfect time. I'm feeling a little it's like a little I'm a little tight in my chest tonight. But we're breathing. Oh yeah, calling ourselves now into 33 minutes past the hour. That means about 27 minutes to the top of the hour. We just pause to say thank you. That's it. I got nothing to sell you. I got nothing to, convince you of. But just the beauty of this present moment as it shows up one friend to another. One human being to another. The gift that we can just take the breath, just breathe in. Breathe out. Oh, that feels better. Sometimes I get shallow. I don't know about you. I get shallow in my breath a little bit. I get like really like shallow, especially a little tight when I start thinking about like, the days ahead, the months ahead, like the tensions I feel within myself and the, trying to just relax. It can be good to just breathe. Intentionally. So, holding space in this present moment, we forget what is past and we forget what is to come, and we just pull ourselves into this present moment knowing that that's all we truly have, and we just say thank you. Father, Mother, God, thank you, universe, thank you, source, thank you, life, for the opportunity of today. And recognizing just today, I'm thankful. There was sun shining today. I was able-bodied and I had activity in my limbs, as the old saints used to say, to walk up and down the hills in my burrow, to go and get my medications, and to pick up some hemp. Really not an essential purchase, but may my joy be made full. And yeah, that's how the story of today goes. And I just want to hold space right now. 25 minutes to the top of the hour, wherever you're watching. I want to hold space for just ordinary moments of solitude. Ordinary moments of pressing pause and giving thanks. For that breath. Okay. Holding also space, as we do every night, for the suffering in the world. For those of you who aren't aware, I probably should get it more structured so that it doesn't look like foolish babbling. But this is basically look up Tonglen practice. It's a Tonglen practice where you take in the suffering of the world. You just take it in and you breathe out love, and you take in more suffering and you breathe out love, and you just take in more suffering of the world and you just breathe out love. And there's this way of us becoming these factories of being able to transmute suffering and pain into joy. Like, we have that capacity. Not just woo-woo. So right now, I want to call into our space, into our field of awareness, all who are suffering, all who are in pain, all who have just really been feeling a little down, been feeling a little sad. Under a pressure that perhaps isn't fair in coronavirus times. Intense frustration, intense worry, anxiety that keeps us up at night, instability that makes us other the people who are closest to us, to protect. All of that laid down at our feet tonight. Just for a moment. All of this intense suffering, we call it into ourselves and we breathe back love. Intentionally, on purpose. Not by accident, intentionally logging on to hold space and mark time as calling on joy and love and gratitude and appreciation. Intentionally, we as people who believe in that which is good, forgetting those things that are behind, I press towards the mark of the high calling. Forgetting those things that are behind me, coming into a present moment awareness, I press towards the mark of the high calling. And of course, this is just one of the passages that we get to see. You know, there's tens of thousands that we'll never get to see. Hey Bianca, hey Nika, good to see you tonight. Bianca, of course, my childhood friend, and Nika, we crossed paths in tech. I think you were one of the techs in one of the parks that I worked in. I think Dorney. There was like an overlap of like a couple of weeks where we shared space and beers. And I've loved you ever since, because what's real never dies, friend. But forgetting those things, borrowing from the scriptures that we have. This isn't a preachy situation. This is a BYO. This is a bring your own belief environment. I'm just in here just riffing on my little muffet and tuffet of gratitude and appreciation. But forgetting those things that are behind us, we press towards the mark of the prize of a higher calling. Whatever you feel your heart is calling you to, forget those things that are behind you. Come into the present moment, now 20 minutes to the top of the hour, and we press towards the mark of what's calling us higher. And then, of course, you say people like, what about in Christ Jesus? I interpret that as in the consciousness of Christ, that all powers I have, you also have kind of Jesus. Beautiful thing about Jesus is that he was like, and this isn't religious programming, so I'm sorry for people that kind of stepped in it right here. I'm not being that guy. I sincerely, if you think I'm being that guy and maybe I'm reading that guy, then feel free to like drop me an email and we can talk about it offline. But yeah, I'm not coming with that energy. I'm just thinking about like the Jesus that people say they believe in, that literally was like all of this power and all of this love and all of this miracle working that I have, you have it too. The same way that I provided fish and loaves of bread in that, in that story that's been passed down to us. In the same way that I'm breaking these fish and loaves, you can do that with your neighbors. If only you could smile at them on the way out the house. Or offer a kindness on the internet. That can be our fish and loaves too. So, yeah, forgetting those things which are behind me, I press towards the mark of the prize of my higher calling that I discover through trying to be more like and in Christ Jesus. And I think that that's more than like what we are given. It's more than rules. It's a vibe. I think Jesus is a vibe. I think Jesus is a vibe in the same way that Buddha is a vibe, and any kind human being that's gotten beyond and over themselves. It's just a vibe. It's a vibe. I didn't expect that to kind of rise out of the ashes of our conversation tonight. Jesus is a vibe. At least the one that I think fondly of. Thank you so much for being here tonight and participating in this practice. It's never been about the numbers. It's never been about who pops through. I have completely separated like those two parts of life. Now it's like we're along this journey together, and whoever finds another, may they find love and peace in that moment. That is the prayer. That is the offering. I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm not sure if I should stick with the 8:30 slot or 9 or whatever. I think when I show up is when I show up, and it's always going to be all love. If no one's told you today that they love you, if no one has told you today that they treasure you, if no one's told you today that you matter, know that I'm saying it to you. It is why part of my mission on life to make sure that people know that as much as possible. So I hope you feel it sincerely, even if we're not that close. And even if you don't receive love from me, I want you to know that you're deserving of love. You are. We're all deserving of love. We are enough, and we are deserving of love. Okay? Have a great night. Talk to you soon. Have a good one.